Hey guys, welcome back to Two Sides of the Coin.
Okay, here are the rules. I wrote down 5 topics. Caleb wrote down 5 topics. We don't know each other's topics. We put them all in a bowl. I'm going to draw a topic.
The bowl.
I'm going to draw a topic. We're going to have to debate the topic. He's going to flip a coin, which decides if he has to argue for or against it, and we don't know what's going to happen. All right. I'm going to draw blindly. Nintendo or PS4? You guessed it. It's Caleb's topic, and I'm not prepared. So again, he's going to flip the coin. Heads is for Nintendo, tails is for PS4, and he cannot choose the side. He's just going to have to do whatever the coin tells him. So, flip it.
Yep. Okay, that works. Heads.
So it's Nintendo. You argue for Nintendo, I argue for PS4, okay?
Sounds good.
Right.
Alright, so Nintendo. Super Nintendo, GameCube, Switch even today. It's so iconic that even Super Mario is like one of the spokesperson in the 2020 Olympics this year. So, well, and it got, held back because of the virus. But Super Mario, man, he comes out of a pipe in the middle of the Tokyo Olympics arena.
How's that a good thing in comparison to PS4? I don't get it.
Because
what's their point?
It's world renowned. You come to, for example, like a place, Taiwan, who had a very long period where Nintendo wasn't really prevalent here. But everyone knows Super Mario. Everyone knows what Nintendo is. To the fact, like, even countries tried to knock it off, like, make little off-brands and stuff of it. Like, that's how in demand it was.
Yeah.
And it was one of the first gaming consoles, other than Atari and some of the arcade games. Nintendo even has a great history. It used to be a playing card game.
All right, first of all, you say Nintendo has a long history, so many gaming consoles. Well, yeah, Nintendo might be one of the earliest ones, and a long history and iconic characters, which PS maybe doesn't have. But it's really about the fun, how much you like the games. And as a kid, I guess as a kid you really enjoy Mario. But as a grown-up, you want to play stuff like Final Fantasy, maybe fighting games or shooters, Metal Gear, stuff like that. And Nintendo has none of that. I think Nintendo is only catered to kids. So if you're a kid, fine, but as a grown-up, you can really only go with PS4.
So that's where you're wrong, though, because a lot of the Final Fantasy started off, Square Enix and all that stuff, they started off on Nintendo.
True.
And there were points where, Super Mario and Final Fantasy, their companies, were making a Super Mario together, an RPG. Like, even now, a lot of those Final Fantasy games that were originally just for Sony PlayStation are coming back. You can buy them on the Switch, and you can play them all. And you say, like, you want to have fun with video games. Do you want to have fun by yourself?
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, there are 2 points you made, and I want to reply to both of them.
You made 2 points, so I'm replying to both of them.
Oh, okay. Okay. They remake so many games and stuff like, okay, here's what I don't like. Constant remakes. Nintendo keeps rehashing the same old and tired characters over and over and over and over again because they cannot come up with anything new and interesting. All the new creative stuff is on PS. It's on the PlayStation. First of all, that's that. And then we talk about multiplayer. There are so many more people who play PlayStation games in different countries connected via internet than they do Nintendo games. Nintendo games are mostly single-player games, unless you talk about maybe what is it called? Wii Play or Mario Kart or Mario Party. But you really play them at your home. But if you want to play with people who live in another country, or another city at least, you can't really play Nintendo games with them. You have to go to PS4.
You're wrong, because actually now you can. Now that we have a Switch, you don't have to play it at home. You can play it anywhere.
You can play it anywhere.
Anytime that you want. You take the MRT, the metro system.
But it's still single player.
No. Animal Crossing, New Horizons. That's a huge, it's a game where you make your own house and stuff. You can play with your friends online. You can probably play with your friends sitting right next to you via, like, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth stuff. Of course, you have Mario Party.
There it is again, Mario.
Mario Party, it's a great party game. Can you pull out any party games on the PS4? Name it off the top of your head.
Party games, I can't.
Exactly. That's how difficult it is on PlayStation. There's so little party games, and you have Super Smash Brothers where you can have up to 8 people. You have
Okay, question though. What if your friends are not around to play with you and you want to go really in depth in a game with amazing story that's really mature and maybe a little bit more complicated?
Mm-hmm.
Then I think a lot of Nintendo games are just too shallow because Nintendo is really it's a simple fun, I would say, and maybe fun you share with friends. But if you want to go into a story-based game like Elder Scrolls or something like that, you just don't have that on Nintendo.
Elder Scrolls is on the Switch now.
Now.
So another thing with this, with a huge in-depth game, it is impossible for PlayStation and Switch, both of them, to have these online capabilities. The world is too big. That's why there's no multiplayer for Skyrim. They ended up making their own multiplayer, MMORPG, but it's specifically for like PS or PC, and it's not really that fun. It's just an MMORPG based video game, so it's going to use the same concepts as the MMORPG. But as far as you say, like an in-depth game, the game of the year in whenever it came out, Breath of the Wild.
Okay, Breath of the Wild. Well, yeah.
Game of the year.
Okay, I have to say Breath of the Wild is a really good game. I agree, but there are so few of these on Nintendo, where on PS4 you have so many different genres of games that are all really, really good. And Nintendo is good for a certain niche or for a certain genre, like maybe platformers or like Mario Kart and party games. But if you want to play RPGs other than Zelda, or if you want to play shooters, or if you want to play strategy-based, maybe war games, or open world games, Nintendo really doesn't have anything. So if you can only pick one console and you want to have a wide variety of many different games, PS4 is the way to go. It's very hard to get boring if you can play so many different games. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, The Last of Us, Tomb Raider, all these classics that people love. Resident Evil.
All these classics that people love. People love all these Nintendo classics too. It's if you grew up with PlayStation, you're into Resident Evil, you're into Tomb Raider and all this stuff. And what has PS4 been doing? They've let out a new Resident Evil 2. They've let out a new Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
They've let out new Tomb Raiders.
Remakes, true, but they're really awesome games.
Right,
and if you're
too.
a fan of good graphics too, PS4 graphics are much better than Nintendo graphics, you have to say. If that's important to you.
I'm a fan of graphics, so I would go more towards PC. If we're going for graphics, I would say it's not necessarily great graphics that make this game good and playable.
By the way, sorry, I have to interrupt you because this is not even a really fair comparison because you wrote Nintendo, which includes all Nintendo consoles, versus PS4. But you could say Nintendo versus PlayStation. And then we have the PS5 coming out, which is backwards compatible with all consoles, and you can play whatever you want that's ever been on PlayStation.
Right, okay. Well, so it was with the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo Wii U have already had pretty much backwards capability. Mm-hmm. You can go into the store and get those video games from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Wii. You can get all those games, even up now. So you can do that too. And it's when you said niche, when you said there's such a small niche for the Nintendo, you also have to look like the amount of people who are able to play Nintendo and their age range. From little kids with educational, they even have little like cardboard cutouts where you can actually do robotics, to teach kids robotics with a Nintendo and VR with a Nintendo, all the way up to the old people in the old people's home who still, to this day, purchase Nintendo Wiis. Just because it gives them up, it gets them physically active, it gives them something to do. So I would say the range of people who are able to get into the Nintendo is even broader than, or just PlayStation in general.
Yeah. Maybe, I would say maybe age 6 to 15 and 70 and above Nintendo. and all ages in between, PS4. And I believe the sales numbers will back that up.
Why are you talking like Donald Trump?
Because I got the best ideas, I got the best statistics, believe me, it's all true. And that's my final word.
All right, guys. If you like the debate here, then click the little like button, subscribe, and feel free to throw us some topics, man.
Yeah.
We're running out of ideas here on the first day.
And also let us know who won the debate, what you think is the better console, if you're a Nintendo fan or a PS4 fan, or maybe even an Xbox fan if that's what you go for, even though I don't understand why you would like that.
PC, woo!
Yeah.
Master
Anyway,
race.
let us know what you think about this debate and add your own topics so that we can add them to the bowl and debate them next time. See ya.